On Thursday, June 19th, Patrick Henry criticized the inadequacy of the impeachment process in the U.S. Constitution, proposed by the Founding Fathers at the Constitutional Convention of 1787. Quote, "What is it? It is a mere sham, a mere farce. Can there be any security when offenders mutually try one another?" Close quote. Patrick Henry again drew a contrast between the proposed United States Constitution offered up by the Constitutional Convention and the procedure in England where, quote, "the history of that country shows that they have blocks and gibbets. The violators of the public interest have been tried justly and impartially and perished by those necessary instruments of justice," close quote. By contrast, the U.S. Constitution was impotent for this purpose. Under the United States Constitution given by our Founding Fathers, we now have congressmen who raid the Treasury with impunity for purposes totally unrelated to their biblically assigned function of enforcing public justice. Obamacare is but the latest example of expropriation at enormous cost of a duty that the Bible assigns to the family and the church. As Patrick Henry warned, under the malleable United States Constitution, there is no effective remedy in spite of the so-called checks and balances provided by the Constitutional Convention. In the Old Testament, rulers were held accountable by the lower magistrates and by the clerics. Once King Saul issued a foolish order that no one could eat any food until after a battle on pain of death. His son Jonathan led the army to victory and ate a little honey. Saul insisted on the execution. Quote, "But the people said to Saul, 'Must Jonathan die who has brought about this great deliverance in Israel?' Far from it. As the Lord lives, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he has worked with God this day." So the people rescued Jonathan, close quote. By contrast, under the U.S. Constitution, given by our Founding Fathers, the states, for example, have no such power to check abuses at the federal level. At HistoryMythBusters.wordpress.com, you get the story behind the story. Only a return to the law of God in our legal system will save America.